All right, let's continue with working on this upper level of our frame jig and how we position and secure these upper frame tubes. So sort of significantly that iconic featherbed shape. And if you can remember in our last episode, we got these risers welded together and I've got them clamped in position. I've also taken a measurement off of our frame jig top here using basically our square to keep everything in line. And what this does is it establishes this outer width of this upper frame tube where we want it in terms of between the two tubes. We're trying to hit a dimension there. So I've located it, I've got it measured with my little sliding square here, and I believe we're in a position to now weld, at least to tack as usual, tack down our sort of riser blocks so they don't move. And once we get this in position, this will allow us to use our hole saw assembly mounted up here and drill down and get the proper coping here against the steering neck. So a lot going on here basically. And to get started though, let's tack this sort of riser position down so it can't move and it'll establish, and then we will copy this spacing on the other side of the jig. So let's put down a couple of tacks. Here on the corner. Forward. You got it. All right, we got this locating bracket here tacked down in a good position, and we've added the other side in the exact same way, just repeating the process here, taking a measurement from the edge of the frame jig over to where the widest part of the upper frame tube goes, and we've got this clamped into the same kind of position as the other side. So we will tack these positions right here on the risers. We'll tack this one down as well and get these tubes located in a good position to ultimately, next we'll cope the forward end to the steering neck. Almost through. Okay, so we've gotten a lot closer here in getting these upper frame tubes located. And once again, I'm wanting to get a stronger attachment here and sort of location and securing of the steering neck before we actually start to weld on it. We're getting our tubes sized in here, coped. And now I just want to make sure if we put heat on this, where is it going to go? So I've kind of mocked up this. It's got Heim joints in it, so it's pretty flexible yet does not move. With a locating bracket here that's going to go down in between these frame mounts. This will also have some, it's kind of wedged in here, but it'll have adjustability because I can rotate this part to pull this angle of our rake up or down in very fine increments just by tightening it and loosening it on this threaded hemispherical joint. So the next thing I'll do is to actually tack this in place, and we can start to test getting this exact 27-degree rake, and yet again keeping it secure when welding, tacking up. And this of course can all unbolt and come off. It's time to remove this whole upper assembly here from the frame jig. So that's the idea. Here's the upper rake angle support we just added, and it's kind of, I've got it all roughed into position here, got it tightened down with a nut, and I mean that sucker won't move at all. So this has put us in a good position here to be able to do some tacks to finalize this steering neck at our 27 degrees, and this measures basically exactly 27. So feeling pretty good about that. We've got our upper frame tubes tight. I'll put a few more clamps on this before we actually make the welds, but I think this adds a very good and also very adjustable to a fine degree of just twisting this to pull it in or out. I think it's gonna work. Feeling good.